that looks like a fucking pterodactyl. All right, I gotta put this down and try to capture this. Hey everyone, welcome back to yet another monkey in the wild. And here we go. It's been a long time. I'm going here maybe once a week these days. Sometimes it's every couple of weeks, sometimes not even that. It's been a crazy summer of oppressively dangerous heat, being sick, being overwhelmed with day job, and just life in general. So I have been on the road all week. I finally did my DC, Maryland route. I left on Monday. I did not come back until late Thursday. And I need this badly. So here we are at my place of places, Pleasure House Point. I can hear somebody yelling at their dog. Yay. And haven't seen a single thing and don't really care if I do or not. I'm just here to enjoy not being in my truck, not driving around the Beltway in DC or in Maryland. I got stuck in a storm on my way to the hotel Tuesday. Holy crap. It was unbelievable. Like, I legitimately thought that I was driving into a tornado. It was raining so hard and the wind was blowing so hard, it was literally moving everything sideways. It was so torrential and crazy that I didn't see my turn. I missed my turn and ended up having to go like 5-6 miles further to turn around and come back. Wow, that's a huge bird over there. Okay, so yeah, it was pretty rough. Lots of traffic, blah, 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 blah. But it was a very successful week, so I'm gonna take it as a win. And now I'm here to win life by enjoying myself, by being in the great outdoors. That looks like a fucking pterodactyl. All right, I gotta put this down and try to capture this. Okay, I'm knocking this thing all over the place. I'm trying a new pouch on the belt that's a little bit deeper, and it's challenging. And I keep hitting the damn record button on the freaking Ace Pro 2. But I came across this juvenile yellow-crested, yellow-crowned night heron. I always say crested. I heard it, and then I saw it. It was deep in these trees, and now I've made it fly away. It's up there. Not going to be able to see it, but it's right there. Got to get more pictures. That's a juvenile yellow-crowned night heron. Plus, I found an adult another couple trees over. Over there, I want to say it might be an osprey that's flying around in circles, but it keeps going behind the trees and I can't get it. You can hear the crows talking to each other. I'm going to keep going this way though. See if I can get a little bit closer to that great blue heron and keep ahead of these people. There's another couple back here taking pictures, and I don't want to act like I'm a tour guide because nobody likes that. Half the fun is finding this stuff on your own. Tide's pretty high, so it might be a little bit more challenging to see some of these birds because they'll be hiding within the trees, waiting for the water to go down. Okay, it took a bit of maneuvering, but I finally got into the nice spot here. All right, the crows are really active, talking back and forth to each other. Standing in this vantage point, it is perfect for that great blue heron, standing at the edge, very tip of that like stripped branch. It's got sky behind it, but there's enough of the tree there to see it. All right, there's another bird circling around up there. All right, I gotta put this camera down so I can actually take pictures with my good camera here. So I had somebody walking past me, had headphones on, was doing a good job of not scream talking with them on. He kind of aged himself because he looked at my camera and said, "Dude, gnarly camera setup." Which I can appreciate because that's my era as well. And then he stopped after he had passed me to tell me that there was an egret over here like sitting on a log eating. It wasn't an egret, it was a yellow-crowned night heron. It took a bit for me to get it because it's down on the shore of this little like creek, but behind grass and all that kind of stuff, and I couldn't get the camera to focus on it, so I was at like 700 something millimeters. So I had to put it back to the original 500 and then managed to get it to focus correctly. That's the challenge when you have a prime lens and you've got it on autofocus. You have to try all the different autofocus modes. Sometimes zone works, sometimes tracking works, sometimes the whole like sensor works, and sometimes none of them work, and it's freaking aggravating, but there's the fun of it. That's why you got to learn how to use your gear. And I will not claim to be as proficient with these Lumix cameras yet like I was with my Sony stuff, because that Sony stuff, again, I could operate it blindfolded. Okay, this has been fun. There is a nice light breeze. It's still pretty warm, a little bit more humid today than it has been, and I'm not in good condition because I haven't walked that much for the past month. Anyways, here's what my destroyed fairy forest is looking like now. It's at least got water going all the way through it and a lot more green, so shit's starting to grow back. So trying all these different setups with the Ace Pro 2 and carrying around that Luna, and plus carrying this thing, plus my tool belt with an extra pouch now that's got a phone in it. I've got some tools and a bottle of water and this collapsible stool, blah, blah, blah. There's so much shit that I can carry. This is like the most, well, all right, it would be the most if I had my monopod with like the S1 IIE on it, but I did not want to torture myself with that today. It's bad enough just carrying this. Now I have this Ace Pro 2 on that battery, like built-in battery handle that's got the built-in tripod stand that comes out at the bottom. It's testing my patience. One, every time I try to tuck it within the belt, because there's no, like, it won't fit in the pouch and there's no other way to put it on here. So I just slide it behind the belt and that sits against the belt and my fat love handle. Good cushion. It keeps hitting the button to start and stop recording. And I hear it and I'm like, damn it. And I got to stop it again. And then when I pull it out, the little like bits on the end of the feet catch and it deploys the feet. And then I got to dick around trying to get it to close. I realize this is all first world stuff, but it's something to consider. Doing this, sometimes you have like a millisecond to get that shot. You're never going to get it if you're dicking around with things like this and trying to stuff it in between your fatness in the belt. If you're trying to pull it out and stuck the feet back in and this, that, and the other thing, and it keeps hitting record, and because every time it hits record, if you don't hear it, you're not aware of it, then you're eating battery life. And then if you don't think about it, you can be recording for 20 minutes while you're walking around, and then you hit the button and think that you're recording, but you just shut the recording off. So you're not recording what you want to record. Not that I would know, not that that's ever happened to me, but something to consider. All this is like, you have to think about this. That's why constantly buying and selling and changing gear is difficult, because you never give yourself a chance to settle in to what you have and to make it part of your flow. I'm still working with this Lumix stuff. This is really like the first season, this first summer that I'm doing this with, 2 Lumix cameras and all this Insta360 stuff. So I haven't built a flow. Again, I haven't built it like I had with the Sony. I'm not beating myself up over it, but I am trying to figure out what works best. All right, gonna get some more pictures. Okay, since I stopped recording and said I want to get something, one more egret flew in, and then all of a sudden there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 egrets, be it great egrets or snowy egrets, flew into these trees. So I went from all this one bird to like 8. And this is what I'm talking about. You have to be ready for that. I missed the first egret flying in, and then all of a sudden they just started whooping in. This is right next to where they destroyed the fairy forest. So all of that shit over there got dozed, and it was just horrible. So most of the birds that hung out here, like around where I'm sitting and right across this little bit of a river, they all bolted and took off, and they didn't come back for like a year at least. And this makes me happy because it means that they're starting to come back here and hang out compared to after everything got dozed and they stopped doing it. Okay, I know I talk too much. My normal spiel, here's the abridged version. Get off your ass, get out there and enjoy nature. See you next time.